So hello everyone, hope you've been doing great guys. Today in this live session, I have my special guest, my friend of mine. He's from the Philippines. And I thought actually I'm thinking to have a conversation with him because currently I'm thinking to have conversation with a lot of people because we have our friends. And if I can provide you this kind of videos here, like we will have our conversation with our foreign friends. So it will help you to understand some of our conversation, and at the time it will encourage you to develop your English. So I hope that you will like this video. So let's get going guys. And here is our special guest. He's from the Philippines. And you guys, you know me very well that it's Mirai from Bangladesh. And I have my guest. He's from Philippines. So let's get his introduction first. So Mike, welcome to this live stream.
Thank you, Roy, for inviting me here. And my name is Michael, and I'm from the Philippines, and I live in the capital, Manila.
Thank you. That's very glad to have you here in this class. I mean, in this our Zoom session tonight, and it's really very fantastic. I hope that it's gonna be like because you are my friend of mine, and we have been practicing our spoken English for a long time, and I know you are a very keen, vibrant, and very good speaker. So I hope that it's gonna be a very special time and conversation with you. So thank you, Mike, for your precious time here with us. So now, it's our introductory part, and next we are gonna have, we're gonna talk about our culture. So as this video is for my country people, so I will talk about my culture a little bit, but we are much more interested to know your culture. So now you are gonna talk about your culture and some of the systems or your festives about your country.
Yeah, that is so interesting topic right now. Yeah, so let me start with the culture. Uh, Philippine culture is something like different regions. We have different culture but as a whole country, if you're gonna check the history of the Philippines, we have been colonized by the Spaniards. Then the Japanese came to the Philippines, and afterwards the Americans. So those powerful countries who've been with in our country, they have influenced us and they have embedded a lot of things to our culture as well. So in different things, we have different ways here in the Philippines. Like for instance, here in the Philippines, we have our own way of showing respect to the older person compared to the other country. We have our showing something like uh, getting the hand of an elder person and put it in your nape. So, but currently, because of the situation of the pandemic, it has been advised by the Department of Health to stop doing that one. So the Filipino culture is something like influenced, has a touch or influenced by the Spaniards at first. The old Filipinos, we have like that. But some of the cultures that we had are dying right now because of the modern period that we are having currently. We are more influenced by the Americans, so a lot of things that here in the Philippines, the movies are more Americans, more English, even the fashion right now. And because of the situation of the Korean telenovelas are becoming rampant and popular here in the Philippines, and even they have influence as well here. So some of their things are happening here or being adopted by the Filipinos as well.
That's quite interesting, man. So now the next question that I'm gonna ask you, like regarding the culture. So what is the dominant religion in their country?
Mhm.
I mean, in your country, what's the dominant
Mhm.
religion there? And according to
Okay.
religion and religion influence, So what is the greatest festive that you have in your country?
Okay. Philippines, because we were colonized by the Spaniards by 1500s. They've been here, so they have introduced the Christianity. Most of the Filipinos here are Christians, so we believe in the Bible. So we have a lot of festivities here in the Philippines. We have religious festivities, and we have as well as but the most Filipino likes is the Christmas. The Philippines is very well known in which we celebrate Christmas for a long period of time. It's starting September, first day of September, which is September 1, until January, we celebrate the Christmas. So from the start of
Mhm.
September, you will hear Christmas carols already wherever you go, to the mall, to the market, to the whenever you take a public transportation, you will hear a lot of you will hear a lot of Christmas songs all over the country. And you will see as well decorations in many parts of the Philippines. So that is the most popular, and Filipinos are preparing for that from time to time.
That's really interesting, man. And yeah, I have a little bit idea about your country as I need to study, international affairs for my job exam. So that's good. So my another question, it's from another perspectives, like, yeah, as I know, you have visited more than one country. So now you're gonna talk about your journey to visit some abroad. I mean, some countries abroad.
Yeah, yeah. I had an opportunity to visit a lot of countries. Okay, not that much, but about 6 countries. I've been to Malaysia, to many countries in Africa, as well as Brazil. So during that time, I've learned that the world is very huge, and there's a lot of things to be learned. Not because if you never been to other countries, you are just focusing about your culture, your tradition, and about the things about your country. But when you go out of the country, you will see how the people do their job and how they behave, their their characters, and you're gonna learn from them as well. Like for instance, in Africa, I've been in Africa for a very long time in different countries in Africa. I've been so amazed how these Africans, how humble they are, but how they are very sufficient and very happy and grateful to God about their lives. Despite that, we think that Africa are too poor, but not the whole Africa. But many countries in Africa are really humble or poor. But despite of that, you will see that there's smile in their faces. So you
Yeah.
will see that they're really strong, not only physically but emotionally. So the thing is, I was really amazed that it's true that it is not the material thing that will give you happiness. So I've learned a lot of things. The way they communicate with other people, it's different from the Filipinos. Their emotions are really different, because sometimes Filipinos are really emotional, but when you go to African countries, they are not that much, and they can communicate easily.
Yeah.
And one more thing I have learned is about different countries. They have different ways of showing and taking care about the environment, which is I really enjoy about it.
Yeah, that's a great experience, man, to go abroad and visit those countries and to meet those people. That's really so interesting. And
Yeah, aside
really, and
from that,
even I know, yeah, please.
yeah, if I may add, and I feel, because different countries, they have different food and preparation of the food. Like for instance, the staple food in the Philippines is rice. But when you go to Africa, it's not rice.
Mhm.
Africans, they cannot eat rice every day. When they eat rice in lunchtime, it should be not rice in the evening. So it
Mhm.
must be either fufu or bangku. So they have different fufu. It's something like made of cassava, and bangko is something like it's made of a different thing. I forgot the ingredients that they're using for that one.
Mhm.
So I thought before, when I was young, I thought that all over the world we eat rice, but it wasn't like that. But when you go to Brazil, it's different. They like beans too much, and it's really really nice.
Yeah, but here in my country, we're like, yeah, yeah, our staple food is rice here too.
I
I
see.
mean, like your country people. So it,
Yeah, and when you one more thing I learned from that is we eat rice, right? The whole year, morning until evening, and it affects what you are what you eat. So when you go to the African countries, they are different. They have different staple food, not
mm,
rice, but it affects. Look at they have very big body. They have men
mhm,
and women big bodies
yeah.
because of what they're eating.
Yeah, that actually, I think they're improving. Even they're doing great job. Many of the African people, even they're so being so advanced, and even they're just following the Western cultures. So it's really so good, and even they're just advancing day by day. But obviously, there might be some of the people who are so poor and needy, just because they didn't get any chance to change their luck is yet. That's why they're still suffering. But I know that in African countries, there are a lot of, lack of food, even lack of some basic needs in some of the countries. Yeah. So it's really it's so interesting to know about, Africa, Brazil, and Malaysia that you already talked about, but without visiting those countries, we got our experience about from you actually. So thank you, Mike, for talking about those your experience to go abroad, even to visit those countries and meet two people. So that's really so interesting. And now, as we're gonna record a very short video for our viewers, so now we're gonna talk about your speaking journey. That how long have you been practicing your spoken English? And how you were practicing and how you were interacting with people. And when we went abroad, then you used English language or yeah, please talk about this and this experience.
Yeah, it was some like when I went to Africa, I really don't know how to communicate in English, honestly. But when I went to Ghana, that is in Africa, in west part of Africa, they speak English. So I was just like, and I am really amazed about the way they speak English. It sounds they use British English. So I was just like, I feel ashamed about the way I speak English. So I listen to them very, very well. I just try to adopt new words and the constructions of their sentences. So I became more curious and about the way I communicate with them. There was a time that I was embarrassed by a guy, and I was traveling to a certain place in Ghana because of my English. So it marked me that I have to really learn English. So from then on, I started reading books. I started reading out loud to enhance my pronunciation. And there was an instance, our neighbor in Africa heard me reading an English text. So I always talk to the kids there because when you speak to the kids, they will never judge you, and they like speaking to the foreigners with the foreigners. So I enjoy speaking with the kids. So from then on, I've learned a lot of things. I gained confidence. So when I gain confidence, I try to do experiment. I push myself to watch a lot of English movies and read more. And if I have a wee hour, I even go out just to practice English. So from the Africans, I've learned English.
Mhm.
So when I started using WhatsApp in Roy's English Academy, I've heard a lot of something like new words. And the good thing about your group is you push us to speak vocally, to communicate vocally than text. So through that, I became more curious once again and tried to improve. I tried to as well gain some vocabulary words. And even when you did some Zoom meeting, it really helped me. So that is my journey. And I really, really enjoy your group.
Thank you so much, my friend and my dear student, for your for talking about your speaking journey. That you started basically in Africa, but you somehow you got stuck maybe, and when you started using WhatsApp, then you started practicing and improving your English again. So that's quite good. And I believe that, you know, for the first time when I meet you, so on that time I was just thinking that this guy might be so advanced, and you're speaking pronunciation, even the accent, it's like so good. And I started, you know, judging and believing on you, like you might be so advanced, and I instantly pushed you, and instantly maybe I offered you to be an admin in my group. So this is how we practice together. Even we are encouraging people, a lot of people, to learn and practice their spoken English. Even they are just doing great, and a lot of people, I personally got feedback that with the help of all of the members and all of the admins, some of the beginners, they got a level basically of their spoken English when they spend some only a couple of months when they spend in our group, even in some of the other groups. But they are just appreciating us that you are doing great job, even we are getting help. And yes, that is the great point. So thank you guys. Today in this Zoom session, we got our special guest. His name is Michael. He already introduced himself, and now from him, we got our experience about his culture, his country, and his tour to other countries. He had been, I mean, long before, maybe he had been some other countries, and he is really a very experienced man, and currently he is a businessman. So it's very pleasure to have his precious time here, though he has his very hectic time and days. So thank you guys. It's all about our culture and about our, you know, conversation. It's gonna be a very short video for our learners' convenience. So thank you, and keep watching my videos on YouTube channel. Thank you guys.